let's do some merchanting. And then head to the Trade of Blades.
Welcome. Do you have news of the missing water Davian creatures? Or is there something?
Services. Yeah, I might double the tower shields, but it's just too restricts the bag space too much. And probably there we go. I've got a bunch of bag space left. Off to the Trade of Blades. Oh, excuse me. I actually got quite a lot of sleep last night. Went to bed extra early, but apparently still morning. I'll have some Hello, welcome back. We're going into Trade of Blades to talk to people. And then next one will be the Peninsula District. Getting our fight on.
Coin, will you? Times are tough. I have to do something. This is horrible. The end times.
Sorry, apparently those that tangerine had bits.
Greetings. I see you are not yet infected by the plague that ravages Neverwinter. Among such suffering and misery, we who are not yet afflicted must be grateful for our health.
Who are you? I am Damon Red Tiger of the Uthgard tribes of the Frozen North. But it's been over a year since I left my people and came to Neverwinter. Now I earn my living as a blade for hire. Quite well spoken for a hand-orc. My father was an orc. The blood of his inhuman race is in my veins, but I was raised by my mother among the tribes of Uthgard. I'm sorry, I don't know much about the Uthgard tribes. Well, I read a bit about them. There's some in the city who call my people savages and barbarians. They know nothing of Uthgard. We are great warriors and hunters, following the herds and living off the land. My tribe was noble but small. Among them was little chance for a young warrior to prove himself or earn a wife. But I am young and strong, and my people are renowned for their skill in battle. Here in Neverwinter, I found work on the docks as a guard for the cargo and shipments being transported. Then what happened? Coming in the plague changed everything. Quarantine halted all the incoming and outgoing ships. There was no work and no money. I should have left the docks then. Many of the docks workers were afflicted. Men I had come to know as friends. I stayed to ease their suffering, but in the end all I could do nothing to save them from the wailing death. With my friends dead, there was no reason to stay in the docks, not with things getting worse. Now I earn a living with my axe as a freelance mercenary. What did you mean about the docks getting worse? Quarantine trapped ships in port, swelling the number of pirates and other criminals in the district, men with no honor. The city guard focused on the plague. These evil men have seized control of the docks. An Uthgard warrior knows no fear, but I will not dishonor my tribe. I refuse to serve these men. I will not become a common thug and murderer. Anything else you can tell me about the docks? Before I left, I heard talk in the district about an auction to be held at Jim Seedy's tavern. Something besides the usual stolen merchandise, illegal goods, and helpless slaves sold in at his filthy den of sin. Ah, sin. You must be a like-minded individual. The word spread quickly on the street. Perhaps I could have learned more before I left, but I had no interest in such transactions. I'm a warrior, not a smuggler. There's little else I can tell you about the docks, but I know the district's dangerous. If you intend to go there, you'd be wise to take along a hired blade. I think our skill sets are too similar. So, no, but good luck finding someone else. No thanks, goodbye. As you wish, sir. Come back if you ever wish to hire a warrior of great skill and honor. Honor. Find someone else.
Who's this? Some poor soul straggling in off the diseased streets? Are you here to join our ranks and beg for an employer? Or are you actually here to hire someone?
Who are you? My name's Charwin. I call this city my home. Seek adventure and excitement. If you seek the same, you'd be smart to hire me to accompany you. You're a local girl, are you? Does that make a difference? I see people I've known my whole life falling to sickness all around me. I'd say that gives me more motivation than most. And incidentally, I'm no girl. Really? What do you identify as? Well, if I don't seek adventure and excitement, you seem pretty sure of yourself. And just what skills do you have? And just what skills do you have? That's original. And just what skills do you have? I'm a caster of bardic magic, a master of all skills, and a teller of the oldest legends. And with or without your help, I intend to achieve my own fame over time. One day bards will sing songs about me. I suppose such talk may make me seem arrogant to you, my lord. If so, I don't particularly care. I've known the path I was on for a long time. I left behind the life of riches to the life of a bard. You left behind a life of riches? If my own family had its way, I would now be comfortably married to a wealthy man I could never respect, bored to tears in my large Black Lake district mansion. How odd a game of fates plays. How odd a game of fates play. My family lies mostly dead now, and Black Lake is full of frightened fools who bury their heads in the sand and pretend the plague won't touch them. What do you know about Black Lake District? I'm looking for someone to help me with mission. I don't feel like talking around it. Goodbye. I don't feel like talking around it. Goodbye. Have I scared you off already? Oh well. Do come back once you grow yourself a backbone, Lord. I think there's something I vaguely remember that each of the mercenaries has a side plot, like a mission somewhere. Oh, this is the murder note. Let's go speak to the murder note.
I know you. You were at the academy during the slaughter of the students. You were there when the assassins came.
I was going to move because the sound of the fire is... I know you. You were at the academy during the slaughter of the students. You were there when the assassins came. Who are you? How do you know about the academy? I am Grimnall, the monk in the Order of the Long Death. The grisly account of the academy is no great secret to have, not to those who seek such things out. Tell me, as you stood among the blood-soaked corpses of your fellow students, did you gaze upon the face of death? Did you look upon his cold eyes and feel his icy touch upon your soul? It's a bit creepy, very well. Many find the nature of my order unsettling. We embrace death in all its incarnations. Yet in times like these, my skills are in great demand. What kind of skills does one from the Order of the Long Death possess? I'm a disciple of torment and a messenger of death, the Silent Lord. I will bring the absolution of pain and anguish to my enemies and prepare them for burying and purifying. And say it? It's just that end. Oh, brutal and purifying end. In truth, my skills are not so different from any soldier or hired blade, if I embrace the beauty and perfection of my enemy's death. With a zeal others often lack. You're welcome to return should you have need of my skills now. If not, we shall meet again in their final end, where the Silent Lord claims us all. You are pretty creepy, Grimnall. Grimnall. Cracks.
Hail to ye!
Hail to ye. Here there, friend. I suppose I got time to chat. Trade up late ain't very busy now, and I'm getting nowhere with this waitress. Want to ask you some questions? I suppose, make it quick though. I have so many places to be. Yeah, right. Where can I go to get some action? Okay. Aribeth tolerates mercenaries when Neverwinter has a standing militia. Let's do that. Aribeth tolerates militias. Wash your mouth, friend. It hasn't gone unnoticed that when a few of the city guards died, she hired outsiders like you instead of coming here. Just because we work for the highest bidder doesn't mean we wouldn't put it on the line for the city. Where can I go get some action? Hey, now you're talking about language. There's one place. Yeah, you look like you're good with a weapon. Just don't let anyone hear about it. It's not supposed to get around. What's this? It's a club for fighting. We call it the Gauntlet. If you want action, that's where you go. I can sell you a pass if you want 50 gold. Yeah, why not? And here's your pass. Don't say where you got it. Although I doubt they'll ask. Nobody talks about the Gauntlet, but people show up anyway. The board's laid bare tavern is in the Black Lake district. Give the pass to the bartender. Good luck. You'll need it. Goodbye. Get on then. I'm drinking to get to. Do you know? Do you know? Scissors. Oh, I keep on forgetting that, doesn't it? You have to click. Armoire. I'll have that last. It's really weird there's no consequences to just randomly stealing people's stuff. Merchant, Body Not Linkle, and Linu Larneral. Do Linu Larneral next.
Please now, I already told you that I didn't mean to step on your cat. It ran right in front. Oh, you're not that other one.
Oh goodness, how embarrassing. Why does he always happen to me? Why does this always happen to me? Who are you? Before I tell you anything about me, I would like to ask you a question if you don't mind. Go ahead. If you're not one of those dirty, underhanded, conniving thief types, are you? No, I'm not. Why do you ask? I've had nothing but problems with irritating, despicable thieves since I left. And that's not important right now. Let me introduce myself, okay? My name's Linu Lanero, devout priestess of Sahin Munbo. I asked to continue my adventures by hiring myself out as a healer. Why are you here in the barracks rather than helping the plague victims? I came to this city believing I could stem the tide of this plague with the powers of Sehanin. Alas, it defied my attempts to find a cure. I worked long, hard hours in the Temple of Tyr, trying to alleviate the pain of the sick. Finally, after working through several days and nights, I was exhausted. When I tried to stand, I fainted. Then what happened? Well, I fell over and bumped into the glass statue of Tyr. Fell into a glass statue of the symbol of Tyr. One of the balance plates flew across the room and smashed spectacularly right above the head of the high priest. The crash was so shocking, the priest sat down, right on top of the rather large shard of glass. I'm sure he healed up just fine once they stripped him and pulled it out. I was unhurt, but the other priests didn't seem too concerned about that at the time. They asked me to find somewhere else to help the wounded, as if it was my fault somehow. Well, that could happen to anyone. You're so kind to say, but I suppose it didn't help that I accidentally lit the altar on fire the previous day. Are you really that clumsy? I'm not really clumsy. I was just tired. My troubles don't come from a lack of dexterity, as much as poor timing. Don't worry, I'm a good in a fight and an excellent healer. Each day I've been assisting the victims of the plague in the slums of Black Lake I've been assisting the victims of the plague in the slums of the Black Lake district, where they lie in the streets, ignored by the residents and guards alike. That's good of you. Well, not anymore. The last time I visited there was a couple of days ago. I was attempting to help a sick old woman on the street and I was set upon by several thugs. They attacked you while we were helping plague victims. People are terribly discouraged because they figure they're going to catch the Wailing Death, so they aren't overly concerned with morals. In their desperation, they turn to theft or worse. I want to go back and help, but what can I do? I think that if I could earn some more experience and maybe some gold, it might make a difference. Do you know anything else about the Black Lake District? We're good to go. Nope. I've heard enough. You're dangerous to be around. Goodbye and best of luck to you. I don't want to be that mean, but there's no other option. Oh, I didn't mean to scare you off. I really am a very good healer. Come back if you would like to hire my services. There. Done. Come on. Otinok Glinkle.
Hello there. You don't have the look of one of those Neverwinter soldiers about you. Neither do you show any evidence of having contracted the plague.
But you have a certain bearing about you that distinguishes you from the ordinary citizen. Based on my observations, I'd venture the hypothesis that you're an adventurer, correct? You're right, I'm an adventurer. My name is Tam Axlia. Who are you? I'm Otinok Glinkle, a gnome sorcerer from the island of Lantan, who was only recently arrived here in Neverwinter. Lantan? Isn't that the place where all those crazy inventions come from? My homeland does have a reputation for producing marvelous machines and outlandish contraptions, not otherwise known here. We Lantanese people are people guided by the analytical principles of science, observation, reason and logic, but don't allow yourself to be misled by rumors and hearsay. We aren't all kooky inventors, as some would have you believe. I myself am a sorcerer, for example. A sorcerer? I thought the Lantan looked down on magic. Lantanese people do not disparage magic, though many of us do not understand it. However, in my land, we rely on the arcane far less than the other peoples of Faerun. We prefer to seek scientific solution to a problem rather than a magical one. Often through observation and experimentation, the problem can be solved without resorting to magecraft. Of course, sometimes a little touch of the arcane is a good thing. When the situation is appropriate, I do not hesitate to use my powers. Tam, I may be from Lantan, but first and foremost, I'm a sorcerer. What are you doing in Neverwinter? I left my home some time ago to experience the broader world. It's not uncommon for people of my island to undertake such a journey. I was exploring the northern Sword Coast when I heard rumblings of a previously unknown plague breaking out in Neverwinter. In the name of scientific discovery, I came to investigate and catalogue the new illness. Fortunately, I arrived before the city was quarantined. I decided to begin my investigations in the wailing death in the Beggar's Nest. Why the Beggar's Nest? From all accounts I gathered, it was generally agreed that the Beggar's Nest was where the outbreak began. I thought it best to learn about the plague was to trace it back to its source. And when I learned the clerics were unable to combat the plague, I thought I could apply the scientific principles of Lantan to discover a more mundane cure. Unfortunately, I had to end my investigations in the Beggar's Nest mere days after they began. Far too short a time to conduct a proper study of the situation. Why did you stop your investigations? It's difficult to conduct serious scientific analysis when you're constantly besieged by zombies. Much as I wanted to continue my research, I was not about to throw my life away into it. However, the zombie infestation struck me as more than mere coincidence. I suspect there may be more than a causal relationship between the animated corpses of the district and the outbreak of the plague itself. While the zombies continue to wander the district, I cannot test my theory, but I expect information that could lead to a cure can be found in the Beggar's Nest. Actually, I'm looking for some hired help to help assist me with my mission. Your mission? What mission would that be exactly? I work for Lady Aribeth. My mission is confidential. A confidential mission from Lady Aribeth? Given the circumstances, it's not difficult for me to surmise that your mission is somehow connected to finding a cure for this plague. Given my own scientific interest in the plague, I would be glad to accompany you in your mission, Tam. All evidence seems to indicate you're a capable man who isn't afraid of a little adventure and exploration. That's true. And you have the bearing of a decent employer. I'll join up with you for 150 gold pieces. Persuade, how about 100, and I'll promise your experience wonders that you've never seen. I guess there's only logical that we should do a little bartering. Besides, I've got a good feeling about you. What if we compromise at 125? 125 deal. Every explanation needs a leader. Since you're paying, it's only logical that you should be the one in charge. I'll use my spells and skills to help you out as we go along as best I can. But if you ever want me to change my tactics, just speak to me. Give me new instructions. I'm just going to tell him.
Is there something you need?
Change your tactics. I want you to stop using melee weapons in battle and only use your ranged weapons. I don't know if you need to do that, but I don't want him charging forward when fighting. I don't want to change anything else right now. Goodbye. And that's the end of the trade of blades. I'm going to to take a break before the Peninsula District to go to the toilet. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. And you can find me at twitch.tv/Tam Axlia every day from 7 till 11 GMT. Thanks for watching.